So we're back live at Ponds Forge. And the first event of session 2 is the men's and women's open 800 meters freestyle. For reasons of time constraints, the 800 freestyles have been combined. So there will be 4 heats of the 800 free. Give you the lane order and the swimmers in just a moment. Just remind you the main session outside of the 800 will be at 4 o'clock today. So 800's here, and then when we're concluded with these, we will go on to the main event at 4 o'clock this afternoon, finals of the other events. 100 free, 200 free, 50 breaststroke for men, 100 breaststroke for women, etc. 4 o'clock today. Right, on to the first heat of 4 of the 800 meters freestyle. Just checking that everybody is in place. We have had a withdrawal in the final heat, but everybody seems to be in place. So remember, this is men's and women's, which from commentator's point of view makes it a little bit more complicated. Lewis Baker of City of Sheffield goes in 0, 14-year-old. 1 is Johnson Bache of Darlington, 2003 year of birth. Callie Ramshaw in 2 for Dogster Darts. Alice Day of Darlington in 3. Rowan Kappelman of Richmond Dale in 4. Evie Barber of Grimsby in 5. Millie Fenton of Tynemouth in 6. Daniel Boer of Darlington in 7. Harrison Lee of City of Wakefield goes in lane 8. And James Buckton Graham of North Tyneside in 9. So it's a slightly complicated way to do this from our point of view, but we'll do our best to unpick it as we go along. The men will be quicker, of course. So it's a race, 2 races within 1 race in effect. Fastest in terms of the men is Rowan Kappelman with a 9:43.62. At the moment, leading the way in lane 1 is Johnson Bache of Darlington. Johnson Bache from Lewis Baker, from Daniel Boer, James Buckton Graham. Harrison Lee, leader in the women's event, is Evie Barber. Rowan Kappelman is in lane 4. Edge times for the men. Lewis Baker with a 9:52. Johnson Bache with a 9:52 also. Rowan Kappelman with a 9:43. Daniel Boer with a 9:49. And Harrison Lee 9:52. James Buckton Graham is the only one in the field who hasn't been sub 10 minutes before today. He is in the far lane, lane 9, and we'll be hopeful that situation will change in the next 8 minutes or so. So that is 500 to go for our leader, who is Johnson Bache. I mentioned 9:52.32, his best time prior to today in the 800 free, which of course now, as of Tokyo in a couple of years' time, will be an event in the Olympics for men. 800 for men, 1500 for women coming in Tokyo, so probably takes on a little bit more significance than it otherwise would do. Swam at the World Championships, of course, but until now, really only in that 2-year cycle for the World Championships has we really taken much notice of the 800 for men, but now it's actually part of the Olympic program. There'll be a lot more concentrating on it. Quite a few, imagine, 400 freestylers going up to 8 for the Olympics. We'll see Jay Elliott, for example, in the final heat. He's now probably more known as a 400, even though he started as a 1500 meters freestyler. 800 is kind of his middle distance these days. So with 8 lengths to go, 400 meters halfway stage for our leader, who is Johnson Bache of Darlington. So he's on course for a big PB here, because he actually has, of the men, 3rd slowest time, I think. Not showing that at the moment in lane number 1. Second place is our swimmer on the far side in lane number 9. And again, James Buckton Graham of North Tyneside. Never sub 10 before today. Every chance he's going to do it this afternoon, though. The question is how big a leap, how big a gap, how big a chunk can he take out of the 10.0094 that he's previously posted. It's over with the 800 and 1500. It does get separated out quite a bit, but often at the front of the field it gets very competitive, a little bit log jammed sometimes. But Johnson Bache, the 15-year-old as he is this year, from Darlington, leading in lane 1. Be aware where his nearest competitor is, because he is all of 8 lanes away. .300 to go. Johnson Bache with a 5:55 split, 5:57 for Buckton Graham. So you would think, on this kind of course, they're both in for very sizable PBs. But they keep this pace up, and James Buckton Graham, North Tyneside, on the far side, is threatening to maybe go on and win this. Not much between 1 and 2 in this 800 metres. See what the splits are, see what the gap is between the two of them at this stage. Well, the gap is 2 seconds exactly between, so closest to us in lane number 1. And the swimmer on the far side in lane number 9. 2 seconds it was. It'll be 200 to go when they turn this time. I think we can quite comfortably say at this stage the clock ticks round to about 7:06, 7:07 of the turn, that both of them will get big PBs here. Johnson Bache 9:52.32 before today. James Buckton Graham 10:00.94. Well, safe to say, unless something attaches a lead weight to their feet, both of them will be coming home with very sizable PBs. So we're not look at the women's event quite so much, because that's obviously happening within this, but we'll concentrate on that once the men's is done. Keeping an eye on the so we're in lane number 5, which is Evie Barker, who seems to be leading the way for the women's competition. As far as the men's is concerned, still lane 1, lane 9. No 1 and 2. Don't see that changing anytime soon, especially with there only being 100 to go when they turn next time. The bell will come out, which will be a nice sound. Actually, it could be a whistle on this occasion. No bell, it's going to be a whistle. Put Johnson Bache down below us. He turns in 8:21.91, so I think we can safely say he's on course for a huge PB. Same applies to James Buckton Graham. Howson Lee's in 3rd. Evie Barber is the leader of the women's event. She's 4th in the standings here. Of course, her race will be treated separately, but she's very keen on beating quite a few of the boys in. She's going to do just that. The question is, what kind of time can Johnson Bache do here? 8:57 turn. Probably looking at 9:35, isn't he? 9:35 maybe. And James Buckton Graham, who's never been under 10, is going to go under 10 here. So what do we think? 9:35 maybe for Johnson Bache. 9:40, 9:37 maybe for James Buckton Graham. 9:35 I said, didn't I? So it'll be 9:31. Big PB. 9:31.48. But even bigger from our second place finisher, James Buckton Graham. 9:32.44. Harrison Lee going third, 9:39. Well, that's a 13-second PB. As far as the women are concerned, Evie Barber has finished with a 9:40.49. So she's gone 4 seconds quicker than she has ever been before. So top three in the men's and the winner in the women's, all quicker than they have ever been. Big PBs. 21 seconds for Lewis Baker and all of 28 seconds for James Buckton Gray.